open mic night. My first time of doing this, so let's see how it goes. So if you'd like to follow along with us, visit the bit.ly/ECR logs, and then just click on the open mic night, and you can follow along with us. Tonight we have Jason, K4KU, as our host. Mark, KE2EDS, will be doing the logging for us. And net control will be handled by yours truly, Doug, KF8DRJ, for the first half. And then Jason, K4KU, will pick it up at 8:30. A net would never be complete without a good question, so we've got it tonight. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio? Of course, I'm in Allen Park right now. We're under a flood watch, so that's a good question to have. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio? We're going to start tonight with mobile check-ins first, then move on to the generals. So mobile check-ins right now. Come twice and slowly for Mark. Echo India, number 2, Hotel India Mobile. Echo India, 2 Hotel India Mobile, Hugh in Ireland, Mobile. Okay, let me take it back for a second. For clarification, we heard a Romeo station. Come on back, just that Romeo station, please. Twice and slowly. Romeo, Kilo, Juliet 5, Lima, Zulu, Romeo, Chris, San Antonio, Texas. Okay, if you're mobile and we missed you, you can come on back again, but I want to open it up now to general check-ins. Please come twice and slowly. General check-ins.
KO4CLD, KO4CLD. K4GDF, K4GDF.
KJ5LSG, KJ5LSG.
KJ5MLZ, Kilo Juliet 5, Mike Lima Zulu.
Okay, we got one clarification on the LSD station. That station, come back one more time.
KJ5LSG, Golf.
Okay, we're going to take a little break there. I'll just read these back to you folks from the bottom up. Just make sure we got all these right. We've got KJ5MLZ, Ezra, KJ5LSG, Angie, K4GDS, that's Gil, K04CLD, Micah, and then mobiles, I've got KJ5LZR, that's Christopher, and EI2HI, Hugh, in Ireland. How about that? And then we have a text check-in that batch, KQ8U. So let's start with the mobiles there right now, going over to Hugh in Ireland, EI2HI. Hugh, do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Yeah, net control, please copy Echo India 2 Hotel India Mobile here in Cork County in Ireland. And local time here is 5 minutes past 1 a.m. in the morning. And I'm heading eastbound here in the county of Cork towards Cork City. Yes, I have a backup power supply. Indeed, I have 2 backup power supplies. And I find it they're very useful to have in the Radio Shack, particularly if you're active on the HF bands. You don't want to be missing out on good propagation. If a power supply fails, you like to have a backup one. And so the answer to the question is yes. And I think it's always good to have a backup power supply. So you've got quite a few waiting to call in, so I won't keep you. A very, very good evening to everyone on the net. Good morning from Ireland, and thanks again for letting us in there first. From Echo India 2, Hotel India Mobile here in Cork County, Ireland. Over.
Okay, thanks so much for that. Hugh, I'm glad you said that. I was going to ask you what time it was over there. Thanks for checking in. You have yourself a good rest of the night. Off we go to KJ5LJR. Chris, do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Good evening, everybody. This is Chris, Kilo Juliet 5, Lima Zulu Romeo out of San Antonio, Texas. Not a dedicated backup power supply, but I do have about 5 or 6 handheld radios, and then I've got a few mobile radios in my vehicles. I have one in my pickup truck and one in my RV. So I have battery banks for like cell phones, and then I have a generator, backup generator for the house. So I do have a way to charge everything and keep everything powered up. So I guess that would be my backup power supply. Back to net, this is KJ5 LZR.
Well, got you there, Chris. I'm going to say with a whole house backup, we're going to put you down as a yes. That's probably about as good as it gets. Thanks for checking in, and you have a good rest of the night. Let's go to Micah, K04CLD from Tuscumbia, Alabama. Micah, do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
100%. I got a backup for the backup. So, definitely yes. K04CLD. Back to net.
Thanks, Micah. I like it. It's a good way to go. Thanks for checking in tonight. You have a good night also. Going over to Gil. There's a familiar voice. KJ4DS from Orlando, Florida. Gil, I'll bet you have a backup power supply for your radio, don't you?
Good evening, and yes, I do. I have Starlink, my computer, and all my radio equipment on a pair of UPSs here in the motorhome, and then of course I have a generator to go to if I need to. So I've got everything on UPS and generator, and you're doing a great job there. Have fun and enjoy it. K4GDS, back to net.
Thank you very much, Gil. Somehow I knew you were going to say that. And yes, the sweat glands are activated a little bit tonight. But it's a lot of fun. Thanks, Gil. Have a good rest of the night. Going over now to Angie in Wolforth, Texas, KJ5LSG. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
I do. I have a portable, and I have a solar battery supply, and then we have a whole home generator. So I think we're covered.
Okay, we're putting you down for a yes as well, Angie. You've got a bunch of people in the Zoom room that have said they're big on the whole house generator, so yeah, that's pretty doggone good coverage. Okay, off to Ezra in Belle Chase, Louisiana, KJ5MLZ. What say you, Ezra?
KJ5MLZ. Yes, actually I have two setups. I have a portable Jackery 1000 and a 600 watt solar system with two batteries that actually runs my station every day. Back to you, Net Control, KJ5MLZ.
Good deal, Ezra. So far, we're yeses across the board. And we've got some text check-ins as well that are coming up next, and also want to, at this time, take some more check-ins. So go ahead and load us up. General check-ins, twice and slowly for Mark. And we'll jump right here to our first text check-in, who looks very familiar to me, Dick in Eden, New York, WB2JPQ. Dick, I'll bet you have a backup power supply for your radio.
Well, good evening, Doug. Good evening, everyone. Well, I don't know what radio. I have many radios. But if you're talking about 12 volters, I probably have 12, 13, 14 on the shelf, ready to go, whether I need them, no matter where I need them. But yes, 12-volt power supplies are pretty plentiful around here. Good job. This is WB2JPQ.
Thank you, Dick. Got you down as a yes. Have a good rest of the night. Another text check-in is Randy, not too far away from Dick, over in West Seneca, New York, W2RBC. Randy, do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Good evening, Doug, Mark, Jason, and everyone on the mic net. Yes, all of my ham equipment except for my amp is running off 2 sine wave inverters, and I also have a generator. I'd also like to invite everyone to the ECR 20 meter net. It'll be on the air tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock on 14.317 megahertz. Come and join Roger and I. Back to Net Control, 73 to all, W2 RBC.
Thank you, Randy. Got you down for another yes. Yeah, that's tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., 14.317, plus or minus, right? Okay, let's go to Parrish, Florida. We have Chris via the text, KQ4GLY. What do you say, Chris? Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Good morning, good evening, Doug, and everyone on the net. Yes, I have redundant power supplies, generator and battery power. Back to you, KQ4GLY.
Got you down for a yes there, Chris. I used to live in Florida, so I'm trying to remember if we had power problems down there, and I actually can't remember. It was so long ago. But, yeah, definitely, well, hurricanes, right? So it's a good idea. Another Chris via the text line from Hollywood, Florida, KQ4UPK. Chris, do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Good evening, everybody. This is KQ4UPK, Chris from Hollywood, Florida. Yes, Doug, I do. I actually just got finished with my solar panel installation. So yes, the answer to the question is yes, I do. And it's good to have in here in Florida. You know, never know when we get one of them hurricanes. Thank God we haven't had any. So I'm going to send it back to Net Control, KQ4UPK.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Got you down for another yes. I think I actually heard you earlier on the Reflector. You have a solar-operated station, if I heard you correctly, the whole doggone thing. So that's pretty cool. I like it. Next on the list is Elma, New York. It's Mark, KE2EDS. What say you? Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Well, good evening, Doug, and Jason, everyone else in the Zoom room, and everyone else on the net this evening. Yes, I do. It's a bit of a cheater. It's a whole home generator. I do have UPSs on my computer and screens, but not on my radios. I figure I'll just deal with the 30-second delay with everything firing back up. Have a great evening. Keep up. AE2 EDS clear.
Well, thank you, Mark. We got you down for another yes. So far, we don't have a no. Maybe the no's don't have the courage to... No, I'm just kidding. Let's go to Plymouth, Minnesota. Yes, that's Minnesota, right? Mark, N0CKV. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Well, good evening, Doug. The rest of the net, I'm going to be your first no. So I broke the spell. I do not have one. And 0CKV back to net.
See, now Mark's going to sign off the radio tonight and say, you know, maybe I should. We got you down for a no. That's good. That's fine. Okay, Perry, Leesburg, Florida, also on the tax line, K4PJM. Perry, do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Good evening, Doug, and everybody on the net. I actually do. I never had anything before, but I do now. I got a battery backup system that takes care of part of the home, and I also have a generator. So we, in Florida, I have all that stuff put together. First time on the evening net like this. It's really enjoyed. Thank you guys for putting this together. K4PJM, back to net.
Well, thanks, Perry, for that response. Hope everything's well in, where was I? Leesburg. That's right. Hope everything's going good for you there. Thanks for checking in. Have a great rest of the night. Up next, we have Vicky, Lambertville, Michigan, KE8VKY. What say you, Vicky?
Yep, not a huge one, just to have a battery backup. That's all, no fun stories. K8VKY.
Good, Vicky. Checking in for all two. Okay, a quick list. Let's do another. And remember the line if you 770. Also, new feature. Check at our.io. And you get in on that. Check-in.
N2BH, N2BH. Kilo 2, Charlie Mike Tango, K2CMT. Yankee Bravo Sierra, Victor Alpha 3, Yankee Bravo Sierra. Whiskey Bravo 8, Oscar Delta Foxtrot WV8ODF.
Okay, I understood there was some packet loss there on my last over, so in I see many of you got it anyway and have been checking in. That's great. So let me just keep this open, keep the check-ins going. If you're using the text line, if you didn't hear it, 716-317-9050. And then also the new feature using checking in via email, text at ECR.radio. So keep them coming twice and slow, and we'll verify the whole list here in a second.
For 7, Foxtrot Golf Papa, is 7, FGP is 6.
Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie, WD8 PIC.
W4 PPX in and out tonight. W4 PPX in and out.
November 2, Zulu Victor November, N2ZVN.
Okay, let's do a hold there and acknowledge these check-ins, make sure we got everything right. We've got Alan, N2ZVN from Kendall, New York. We've got an in and out with W4PPX, Don in Hollywood. You have a good night, sir. We've got WD8, PIC, Bob in Sylvania, Ohio. N7FGP, Scott is in Houston. We got KD2VNU, Derby Dan in Derby, New York. WV8ODF, that is Dave in Ypsilanti, Michigan. He's not too far from me. VA3YBS, Bill in Dunnville, Ontario. KC2CMT, Mike in DeBerry, Florida. And let's see, a lot of them here. N2BH, Bill is in Palmyra. And K7FPS, Fred in Reno, Nevada. So, we're going to start with you, Fred, K7FPS. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Wave inverters on top of them. And then I've got a big one out in my garage, so I think I'm pretty well covered. K7FPS, back to net.
Checking in. It just did it again. Thanks, Fred. Thanks for checking in tonight. Have a good rest of the night. We'll put you down for a yes. Off we go next to Bill in Palmyra, New York, N2BH. What say you, Bill?
Good evening. You're sounding good there. Yeah, I've got battery backup, and just yesterday I got a 1,000-watt solar generator to use for backup and other purposes, and to BH.
$1,000 watts. I like it, Bill. That's a lot. Thanks for checking in tonight, Bill. In Palmyra, you're another yes. Off we go to K2CMT, Mike in DeBerry, Florida. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Certainly do. And more than one, actually. I have two C to DC converter backups. I also have a 12-volt battery that I keep fully charged, and I have a solar panel and the solar charger where I can keep it charged in the case of a longer time period is required. Doing a good job there tonight. Patrick lost or not, that happens. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying yourself. This is K2CMT.
Thank you, Mike. I'm actually having a blast. Like I said, sweating a little bit. It's my first time doing this, but it's a lot of fun. Thanks, Mike. Going off now to Bill in Ontario, VA3YBS. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Good evening, Doug, and everybody on the net tonight. And thanks for doing the net, Doug. You're doing a great job. Yes, I do have a backup unit here. I have one of those solar generators. It's about a 500 watt hour. And we also have a regular gasoline generator that'll supply the whole house if we need it. VA3YBS, back to you.
Thanks much, Bill, for your response. Yeah, I'm liking this solar. I gotta do some research. I gotta get into solar. I like the whole idea of it. Going over now to Dave at Ypsilanti. Oh, you're a neighbor. WB8ODF. What do you say, Dave? Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Well, good evening, everyone on the net. This is Dave, WB8ODF in Ypsilanti, southeastern Michigan. We have 200 apartments in my building, and we have a major, bigger than I am, and I'm big, power supply, or backup I should say, but they don't cover individual apartments, just the necessities of the building. So my answer is no. WB8ODF.
Well, you're the second no on this list so far, Dave. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for your response. Have a good rest of the night. Going over to Derby Dan in Derby, New York, KD2VNU. I'll bet I know what you're going to say, but do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Good evening, this is KD2VNU. Good evening, everybody on the net. Yes, I have a UPS that's backing up the essentials, and I have a portable generator plus a backup power supply for AC if needed. KD2VU, return it back tonight. Doing a great job.
Thanks, Dan, and thanks for that. Another yes. So far, I think we've only got 2 no's so far for the night. That's interesting. Scott, Houston, Texas, N7FGP. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Well, good evening, Doug. Thank you and John, and of course Jason and Mark for being out there and doing the net tonight. I live in Texas right now, so I have a generator, a backup generator, batteries, and you name it. So yeah, I'm ready for that, and actually I'm operating off the node that's in my car right now because I'm traveling, so there's another backup. And the Starlink as a backup. So backup on backup on backup. That's kind of what I do. N7FGP.
Well, Scott, you got it covered. Jeez, you got all angles covered. Bob, Sylvania, Ohio, WD8PIC. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio, sir?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. One for the radio, a huge battery, which is being currently charged by my power supply through a power gate, and one for my internet. And I run one little small Alexa device off of it as well. And depending on the power outage, I would cut that down to just the modem. No inverters, because they add a little more current. My stuff will run off of 12 volts. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, and thank you to Vicky, to everybody that's doing the net and keeping the system going. WD8PIC, back to net control.
Well, Well, thanks, Bob. Do appreciate you checking in, and it sounds like you're pretty covered as well. Last on this batch is Alan from Kendall, New York, N2ZVN. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Oh, good evening, Doug. Everyone on the net tonight. You know, this is my second favorite net. First one, of course, is Usenet, but boy, you guys do such a good job, you know. So, very nice. You put me down for yes. I have a couple of spare 12-volt power supplies I keep on a shelf in case the main one fails or somebody else is in need. But yeah, I have a couple of 100-amp lithium-ion batteries that will cut over in case the power fails, and then it'll automatically recharge. And I got a generator as well, you know, for the long-term things. And if all else fails, I got 3 solar panels I can connect, and it'll charge the lithium ions as well. So pretty covered. The only thing I don't have is Starlink. Back up the internet, because as soon as power goes, that goes. And anyway, anyone have a good night? N2ZVN, back in net control.
Thanks, Alan. Yeah, Starlink's on my bucket list kind of too. That's just a good thing to have up and ready. Well, I'll tell you what, that finishes my shift. This has been a blast. My first time doing it. You guys are all great. But for now, I'm going to turn it over to a trained professional, Jason, K4KU, sitting in mission control. Everybody have a good night. And over to you, Jason.
Hey, Doug, fantastic job on your first time as a net controller. And I'm going to do something, this is open mic night, so almost anything goes. So I'm going to switch it up a bit and say, first of all, congratulations to John, KK4JJK/AE, who just passed his extra exam this thing, who was originally going to do this half of the net. He got back on time, so I'm going to throw it over to John and let John take the next round of check-ins and run the second half of the net. And congratulations. And for the answer to the question, because I'm on the log tonight, I do have a backup power supply. With that, John, it's all you, my friend. This is K4KU, and back to net control, John. Hey, Jason. Thanks a lot. This is Kilo 4 Juliet Kilo Slant Bar AE. You're listening to the East Coast Reflector, and this is the open mic net. So yeah, as Jason was saying, I was originally going to skip out on this because I wasn't sure how long the exam would take, and I didn't want to put these guys in a bind if I didn't make it back on time. But here, and I'm ready to go, and excited because now I'm a extra class, and it's pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up for general check-ins. And by the way, if you want to check in via text line and be a little bit easier, you don't have to call in and pile up with somebody. The text line is 716-317-9050, and you just text your call sign, and we'll get you on the list. But for right now, let's take some general check-ins. Anybody wants to check into the open mic net, please come with your call sign twice and slowly, please.
WD8CRX, Whiskey, Delta 8, Charlie, Romeo, X-Ray. VK3AWA, VK3AWA. Kilo Foxtrot 6 Hotel Delta Juliet. Kilo Foxtrot 6 Hotel Delta Juliet. N6QDY, N6QDY.
Golf 1 November Yankee Sierra 4G1 NYS stroke Juliet Alpha 1 Mobile.
Because I got a mobile station, I want to take you first. So I'd like to welcome and acknowledge 4G1 NYS, Stephen, out in the Philippines. Great to have you here. We're going to get you on the list first, so hold on. We also have WD8 CRX, Daniel in Aiken, South Carolina. Another overseas check-in, we've got VK3 AWA, Daryl out in Paradise Beach, Australia. KF6H DJ, Brent in Pensacola, Florida. And N4OSU, Jerry in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Thank you all for checking in. We're going to go to our mobile station first. Stephen out in the Philippines, 4G1 NYS. Stephen, do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Okay, good morning and good evening stateside. This is 4 Golf 1 November Yankee stroke Juliet Alpha 1 Mobile. 4 Golf 1 November Yankee Sierra stroke Juliet Alpha 1 Mobile. Currently transceiving here in Tokyo metro area in Japan on vacation. I'm currently not at my home queue back home in the Philippines. So for my answer to your question, nope, I don't have any backup power supply. I only have one power supply box that I have on my shack. I haven't thought of buying a spare in case it breaks down. Thank you very much for the pullout. Again, this is 4 Golf 1 November Yankee Sierra stroke Juliet Alpha 1 Mobile, currently on vacation here in Japan. 7-3 to everybody.
All right, Stephen, thanks for that. Yeah, enjoy your time there in Japan. Awesome to get out like that. And I've only transited through Tokyo. I've never actually stayed there, so I was just in the airport. But I'd love to see that country someday. Okay, we'll go to the top of the list here. We're going to go to Daniel in Aiken, South Carolina, WD8CRX. Daniel, question of the night is, do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
This is WD8CRX, Aiken, South Carolina. Yes, I do. I have a couple of UPS power supplies, and I've also got a couple of 12-volt power supplies to handle the radios and charge a cell phone and stuff. Right now, I wanted to check into the net here because this is the first time I've used Echolink with the new Shark RF M1KE, and I just had the firmware updated last night, and this is the first time I've used it on Echolink, so it seems to be working pretty good. Back to you, Net Control, WD8CRX.
Daniel, sounds great. Echolink is working just fine, so you're coming in loud and clear, and sometimes it gets a little garbled or digitized, but no, your audio sounds great, so thanks for checking in tonight. Next up on the list, we have Daryl out in Paradise Beach, Australia, BK3 AWA. Daryl, backup power supply for your radio, yes or no?
Good evening all. Yes, I have a generator backup for the house, and when I'm operating portable I always take a spare battery, 12-volt battery. So the answer is yes. Back to you.
I should answer for myself here. Not specifically for my radio, but I do have a gas-powered generator for the house, and I guess if everything can run like the refrigerator and the freezer and stuff, and there's maybe some amperage left for the radio, maybe I'll turn it on then, but it's only one of those cheap Harbor Freight ones, so I forgot how many amps total it can run, so I don't think they'll be high on the priority list if the power goes out, but maybe it will be in an emergency, you never know, and I guess that's the reason why a lot of people do have the UPSs for those emergencies. Next up on the list, we're going out to Pensacola, Florida. Brent, KF6HTJ. Do you have a backup power supply?
Oh, good evening to everyone on the net. Not officially, at least not for the HF rig. But if in a pinch, I could always take the rig out to the car and, hook it up to the battery and run it off the car until I run out of petrol. So I'll let the logger figure out if that counts as a yes or not. Hi. Back to you, 73, KF6HTJ.
Yeah, that's very true. I know a lot of people have their mobile rigs and or the ability to hook up to their cars, so yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Speaking of loggers, I'd like to thank Mark at KE2EDS for logging tonight, and of course Jason, K4KU, for facilitating this net. And by the way, if you want to do exactly what I'm doing here, and they do all the work for you. So if you want to do what I'm doing, it's really easy. You just open up the spreadsheet here. You go to bit.ly/ECR open mic. That's ECROPENMIC. And that'll get you signed up. And then you just follow along on this list, and you just call people out like I'm doing right now and talk to people. It's really easy. I know it's a little nerve-wracking at first, but once you get used to it, it's a bunch of fun. So I've done this a few times already. Next up on the list, Jerry, out in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, N4OSU. Do you have a backup power supply?
Good evening, everybody. Yes, we do. We got a portable generator in the motorhome, a portable generator for the house, and 3 trolling motor batteries. If that runs out, I'm going elsewhere. Have a fine one. Doing a good job. This is N4OSU. We're done.
Thanks for that. I'd like to acknowledge that we have another check-in via the text line. We've got the VK3KEZ, Brian out in Cornwall, Australia. And so I'm going to go next to Brian. Brian's next. Brian, VK3KEZ, do you have a backup power supply?
Well, sort of. Because of their power being so unreliable here, we have a 12-volt battery charged by a solar panel, and that seems to work. VK3KZ boy. VK.
People getting those solar panels are becoming more and more affordable nowadays, so definitely for your ham radio and for emergency services, it's something a lot of people are looking into. David out in Sacramento, California, I don't know if I acknowledge you or not, but I'm going to acknowledge and welcome you. N6QDY, David in Sacramento. I also have our host from the first half of the show, Doug, out in Allen Park, Michigan. He's also checked in, KF8DRJ. Thanks for checking in. And I'm going to go to David in Sacramento, N6QDY. David, do you have a backup power supply?
Yeah, hi, John. Congratulations on the upgrade. And I just pulled in the home. Perfect timing. N6QDY. And thanks to Mark and Jason for doing what they're doing and everybody else. Yes, I do. I have a generator and solar. And a few gel cells. So anyways, back to net. Have a great day, and thanks for doing what you're doing. Great job.
and 6QDY near Sacramento.
Good. Thanks very much. This is Kilo 4, Julia Kilo, KK4, JJK Slant Bar, AE. For those who just tuned in, I just passed my extra exam earlier this evening, and kind of excited about that. And you are listening to the East Coast Reflectors Open Mic Net. If you want to text to check in, or I'm going to have a general call-up over the air in a few minutes, but if you want to text to check in, the number to text is 716-317-9050. Just text your call sign, and we'll get you on the list. But right now we're going to go to Doug, our first half of the show. He hosted the top of the hour till 8:30. Did a great job from what I heard the last 10 minutes. Doug, great job tonight, and I'm going to ask you the question. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Yeah, well, first off, let me echo the congratulations. You must be very excited about that. That is really awesome. And you must have driven at breakneck speed to get back and be able to jump in and finish this up. So that's awesome. To answer the question, yes, I do have backup on everything, and then actually a backup of the backup, which is a whole house jobby in the backyard. So, yeah, I mean, we only had a handful of no's in the first one, so it seemed like most people kind of got this covered. So, thanks for doing the second half. Catch you again soon. KF8 TRJ.
Yeah, Doug, you did a really, for, first time, you're like a pro. I mean, you sound just like a natural, so great job tonight. So we're going to open up for general check-ins, and if you want to check into the open mic net tonight, just come with your call sign right now, twice, and slowly, please. So, here in Reno, Nevada. VE3BZ. VE3BZ.
Kilo Alpha 5, Golf Sierra Sierra, KA5GSS.
Alpha 7, November Romeo Charlie, VA7 NRC.
Quebec 4, Papa Oscar Kilo, Kilo, Quebec 4, Papa Oscar Kilo. Here we got a double. We've got the KC4 POK. The other station that I didn't, that was doubling with the last station, please come again. Kilo 9, Sierra Hotel Tango, K9 SHT. Up right there. I got you, Bruce, I got you on the list here. So, I'd like to welcome and acknowledge K7SCE, Scott in Phoenix, Arizona. Scott, you're mobile, so you're going to be up first, so get ready. VE3BZ, Kevin, my neighbor to the north here in Victoria Harbor, Ontario. KA5GSS, Shane in Hampshire, Texas. VA7 NRC, Brendan, another neighbor to the north, out in West Vancouver, a little bit of ways away, but up there in British Columbia. Thanks for checking in. KQ4 POK Gonzo in Winter Springs, Florida. And K9 SHT Bruce in Port St. Lucie. We'll go to the top of the list. Scott's mobile out in Phoenix, so K7 SCE Scott. Yeah, the question tonight is, do you have a backup supply for your radio?
I got to say, I'm strictly mobile. So, yeah, Bob, consider it when I can afford it. Grab a couple good solar panels, a regulator, and that sort of thing. I get a spare battery on a relay. I'll be able to use that to maintain the main battery and the backup battery. Plenty of sunshine out west here, so it wouldn't be a problem maintaining some battery power and using the radio. Yeah, so that's, I got no base station here at the moment. And I'm currently taking care of a family member and getting my life together in a new location. I'm currently here in Reno, Nevada at the moment. So, yeah, I left Phoenix a few months ago. I'm up here in the Reno area now, and when I get my roots planted, I'll be able to do a change of address and update QRZ and so on and so forth to my QTH. So, and with that, this is Kilo 7, Sam Charlie Edward. Sugar cookies everywhere in the 5-watt mobile. Reno, Nevada. Back to net control.
Enjoy Reno. Out west you got plenty of sunshine. Like I said earlier, those solar panels are coming down in price, and that's just a great way to do it. Yeah, good to hear from you. Thanks for checking in on the mobile. Next up on the list is Kevin in Victoria Harbour, Ontario. VE3BZ. Kevin, question of the night. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Well, good evening, everyone, and great question. I have a backup battery right now that I can use. I do plan on getting a generator, though. We had an ice storm here last March that knocked out power I was out for a couple of days, but people were out longer than that, and that really made me think about getting one, so in case that happens again. Anyway, great question, great job on the net, and back to you, VE3BZ.
Up here in western New York and southern Ontario, we get that snow and we get those ice storms once in a while. So yeah, we got to be prepared. I remember it's got to be 10 years ago now that I remember up in Rochester and northern New York they had their power hours out for like a week or something like that, and that was crazy. It was a big ice storm, and it's always good to have backup power, even if it's, like I said, not for your radio, for your home, just to keep the food fresh and all that stuff. But thanks for checking in tonight. Next up on the list is Shane in Hampshire, Texas, KA5GSS. Shane, do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Good afternoon, everybody. This is KA5GSS. Great job running the net tonight. As for the question, I have a couple of generators, and I do have battery backup for my ham station, and like the other gentleman, the freeze taught me a lesson. I always have backup. Actually got backup to the backup, 2 generators, and the battery system for my ham shack, but it's always good to be prepared. Great question tonight, and 7-3 to everybody. K5 GSS, back to net control, 7-3.
I know that Texas went through that crazy grid failure a few years ago, and that was a lesson for a lot of people down there. So I'm glad to see that people understand that you can't always rely on the grid, and you got to have something in place. Like I said, even I know especially my wife, for example, is not going to think of me operating my radio as a priority, but she's going to want the microwave and the fridge and the Wi-Fi, or I don't know. So you're going to want you're going to have priorities there. Anyway, thanks for checking in, Shane. Next up on the list, Brendan out in West Vancouver, PA7NRC. Brendan, any backup power supply for your radio?
Okay, yeah, Victor Alpha 7, November Romeo Charlie. It's Brendan in West Vancouver. Yeah, well, it's an interesting question. I have, old car battery from one of my old cars. I do keep maintained here and charged. And in the case of the power going out, which usually happens here in the suburbs, last year we had a big windstorm. It was actually 3 trees fell on the property, and 2 hit the house. So it was quite the storm anyways. Actually almost fell over and hit me, but anyways. So when the power does go out, I can just plug into that battery. And yeah, it's a pretty big car battery. It's not a truck battery, but it's about 60 or 70 amp hours. And so that's my backup system there.
Brendan, yeah, thanks. Thanks for checking in tonight. Next up on the list is Gonzo out in Winter Springs, Florida, KQ4POK. Gonzo, any backup power supply?
Good evening, everyone, on the open night. And I have my original power supply, which I bought for my dual band radio, which is about a modest 25 watts. But later on, I did purchase one a little bit better, the Sky Top Power Supply, which is more than like a 65-watt radio. So I guess I could use that as my backup in case something goes wrong with the original one that I purchased. What I don't have is one for having going a PODA, for example. I need to get one of those so I can take it outside and use it outside. So that's where I am at the moment. I'm still relatively new to ham radio, so I'm kind of working my way along. That's in control. This is KQ4POK clear.
Yeah, thanks for checking in. I gotta look into those, what are they called? Those batteries? The newer ones that are last 12 hours or something like that. Just to have that rig available if you need it. Bruce out in Port St. Lucie, Florida is next on the list. K9SHT. Bruce, any backup power supply for your radio? Good evening, everybody in the net. K9. Port St. Lucie area, getting ready for hurricanes. Built the house in 1990, so yeah, took a lot to get me back up to code and everything, including found out that my electrical panel built in was put in was outdated and was well, I was in violation if somebody would ever inspected my house. So as I paid for having a new electrical main panel placed in the house, I also got a knockout box that I could plug a generator into it and run anything that's 110. I can't do anything on 220. And so and I got a generator. I'm now looking at another one that does multiple fuels, not just gas. And a couple other things I'm looking at to do that. So, great topic. K9SHT. Thanks for checking in. I know you guys down in Florida, you got to be ready for everything. You've been pretty good. I hate to you, but pretty good this year in this hurricane season. But my buddy has 2 rentals out on the Gulf Coast and near Bradenton, and boy, I'll tell you, that was a mess. You know, for a long time, everybody was in a bad shape there. So yeah, again, good to be prepared. This is KK4JJK. My name is John. This is the open mic. We're going to take a last round of check-ins here. If you want to come in, even if you're in and out, we'll take some general check-ins. Come with your call sign twice and slowly.
W2BLT, W2BLT.
Kilo Bravo 2, Whiskey Golf Charles, Kilo Bravo 2, Whiskey Golf Charles, in and out. KU2 EHI, Kilo Echo 2 Echo Hotel India, in and out.
AC4BR, Alpha Charlie 4, Bravo Romeo.
Up there, guys, supposed to run till 9, but I'm going to take these last couple of guys here on the list. Welcome and acknowledge W2BLT, Scott out in Buffalo, New York, my neighbor here. And AC4BR, Brian in Monticello, Kentucky. Also, we had a couple in and outs, KB2, WGC, Kevin in Homosassa, Florida, and KE2EHI, Joe in Westfield, New York. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the net and thanks for checking in. We'll go to Scott out in Buffalo, W2BLT. Scott, question of the night. Do you have a backup power supply for your radio?
Bio-NO battery that I use for POTA, and if the power ever goes out here, which it hasn't in a long, long time, I could hook it up to my radios upstairs, but yeah, I got one. Have a good day, everyone. It's W2BLT.
I appreciate it. And the last person tonight, we're going to go to Monticello, Kentucky. Brian, AC4BR. Brian, do you have any power supply, backup power supply for your radio?
Good evening, everybody on the net. Yep, I've got, it's not actually, wasn't bought for that, but yeah, I've got one of those Bio-NO batteries as well, so, and then I've got a couple other possibilities I could rig up if I needed, but I guess the short answer is yes. Anyway, I'll turn it back to you. This is AC4BR.
Thanks for checking in tonight. And that's going to do it for this edition of the Open Mic Net here on the East Coast Reflector. My name is John, KK4JJK. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for checking in tonight. And our first half host of the evening, Doug, KF8DRJ. Doug, thanks for hosting the first half. Did a great job. Mark, K2EDS for logging, and Jason, K4KU for running the whole show. Thanks. Well, you can check back next week again, and we've got some other nets you can check into and listen. Just go to the eastcoastreflector.com. You'll see everything, all the information on there. And I want to once again say thank you to all. 73, this is KK4JJK, returning the repeaters back to normal amateur use. 73.